Hi, Taurus. This is your tarot card reading. I have meticulously shuffled these decks with fixed earth in mind. When I was shuffling, I was really asking for the most accurate reading we could get for fixed earth. And I was also focusing on those Taurians that really need some information. So if it doesn't resonate with you, maybe it means you're just doing fine and you weren't the, oh, look, Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck there. Every now and then I'll pause when I feel that there's something relevant to you. This is an Aries woman. If that doesn't mean anything to you, don't worry. It's just every now and then I'll stop shuffling as I'm talking. All right, Taurus. So let's begin, okay? All right, so what we're going to do, I'm thinking, 3 piles. All right. Please, may we have an accurate reading. For Taurus, for fixed earth, please. Spirit is already telling me to take the second pile, okay? All right, Taurus, bottom of the deck, we have the 5 of Swords, all right? Right away, if you find that you're in the middle of an unethical battle or that you have experienced some kind of theft, I think you already know what this is, if this has happened to you. If not, it just relates to a specific set of Taurians, this message here. The message is just to walk away because this is a stage card. Okay, do you see that gray flat surface? What that means is that the main character, the main player in the card, and I'm going to show you the person with the sneaky grin, it means that he thinks he's won, but in reality he hasn't, he is lost. I'll tell you who the winners are. The winners are the people who have been stolen from right now and think that they've lost. The winners are the people who walk away. Let me show them to you. That person who's sobbing there in the background and that man, both of these people are going to walk away, and karma will deal with the main player there, the guy with the sneaky grin in the 5 of Swords tarot card. All right, I'm going to pause the tape for 1 second. All right, Taurus, time to look at the issue and the challenge. Do you remember when I was initially shuffling and I stopped for a moment because of the Queen of Wands? I felt that might have been significant at a time. It was at the bottom of the deck. Well, the issue is the Queen of Wands, okay? So this is an Aries woman. I don't see how... I'm just trying to think of any other way this could be an issue other than a person, and I'm not seeing it. I do believe the issue is an Aries woman, okay? It could be your boss. It could be someone in your family. I'm feeling like, let's just assume for a minute, although we should never assume anything in tarot. Let's assume it's a love reading. So this person, okay, let's look at the challenge first of all, because that always helps. Yeah, okay. I think I know what this is about. So your challenge, this is the Chariot, getting things moving, victory without using manipulation or anything, getting mastery over all the forces, the female forces, the male forces, the dark forces, the light forces. I'm feeling right now that you're on a quest for an Aries woman, and so the purpose of my reading, I think, would be to assist you with this, okay, through tarot. All right, so let me just make a few comments before we go on. Aries women can seem very independent, very intimidating, okay, because they're independent. They're usually attractive, very physical. They're they're the leaders of the zodiac, but they're also in the first house, which is kind of like me, the house of the child. So they can be demanding, sometimes come across as very selfish, sometimes caustic because they're very upfront. They're straight up. Okay, they'll stab you in the front if they're going to stab you. They won't stab you in the back. Stab you in the front. But sometimes it could be very painful. But anyway, you have to have a thick skin. But here's the irony, though. Aries wants to have a partner, and as a partner, they are incredibly loyal. You'll wonder, why didn't I do this before? See, it takes quite an alpha male, or if you're a lesbian, an alpha lesbian female, to obtain an Aries. You gotta have thick skin, people. You have to, okay? But there is a big reward. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pause the tape and we're gonna talk about the Chariot. All right. So, one thing that I can say though, so the challenge being the Chariot, that could also be another person. Okay, so there could be a Cancer in your way, okay, to get to your Aries. I'm not seeing it that way though. I'm seeing this as Tarot telling you your challenge is to do this, okay? What is this? I'll tell you what this is. Number one most important thing about this card is that the person operating the Chariot does not control these sphinxes with any reins. If you look at the Witch's Tarot, instead of sphinxes, there's a white and a dark horse, still no reins, but he is in complete control, he or she. So what does that mean? That means the idea here to get your Aries woman is, or man, although I think it's a woman because if it were an Aries man, the Emperor would have come up. To get this Aries woman under control, you're going to have to use some intellect, some mental mastery. You're also going to have some thick skin. Okay, you can have your chest plate there, okay? You're going to have to rein in your emotions to get control of the situation, okay? And that would be exactly what's required to successfully put up with an Aries woman. But this is also Taurus. This is a card of victory, and I know that's what you can obtain. Okay, what's crowning the reading? Taurus. You know why I love reading Taurus? Because your readings are so clear. They fit together like the pieces of a puzzle. There's nothing mushy about you guys. Not mushy, but nothing wishy-washy about Taurus. You just give me the reading. It just comes right out. What's crowning you is the Ten of Wands, which would make perfect sense, okay? You have really worked hard on this. Just look at the muscles in the backs of your calves there. Whoa. But I want you to see where you're headed toward. I want you to look at that castle there. Nice, eh? Sorry, my hands are shaky. I have had so much coffee this morning. I'm going to start putting some hot water in that. All right, so the Ten of Wands. So we're looking at, just going to put that card back there. This is Saturn in Sagittarius, okay? The limits of reality being Saturn versus the quest for love and fulfillment. There's your Sagittarius. This has been quite a load. A little pause in the tape. Okay, so there's a couple of messages that I'm seeing here. First of all, if you're already in a relationship with this Aries woman, you have been putting in most of the work, okay? It can mean that the Aries person has, but the way I'm feeling and seeing this now is that it's you, Taurus, who's been doing a lot of the work, or most of it. You might be at your breaking point, all right? Aries should be very careful because you might be just at the point where you're going to throw in the towel. I wouldn't, though, because this card, Aries, as I said, they're worth it. As a partner, they're just a lifelong loyal partner. They're very good with children. They're also very good with children that you already have. A lot of Aries will marry people who already have children, and they're phenomenally good stepmoms. They can be a bit on the strict side, but a very a good strict. They like structure. So do you, Taurus. Look, let me get back to the Ten of Wands. The other thing is that they may be overwhelmed by their emotions for you. If you're finding them a little on the icy side, Aries, they can be quite shy when it comes to when things are almost about to be put together because they're so afraid of letting you down. Yeah, there could be just sort of on the side, you could be in the middle of a move. Feeling like you're at your breaking point, though. Aries better clean up their act. I'd say that you put in a lot of work, okay, so far, and I think it's going to pay off. Let's just look and see what the tools... Nice. So Taurus, as your tools, we have the Hermit, which is the card of Virgo. Look, Taurus, the Taurians that I'm speaking to right now have been through everything in life. You guys are very wise. You have information to share, and I think you're going to draw on your knowledge, on your intuition. This guy, the Hermit, is guided by the seal of wisdom. That's that 6-pointed star in his lantern. He is one with the divine. He is never alone because, this is the ultimate spiritual level of mastery that you can get to. And those are the tools you're going to draw upon. I like. Nice, Taurus. Okay, recent past. All right, so we have Moon in Cancer. 4 of Cups. You may have turned down an offer, okay? This may have been strategic. All right, maybe Aries made you an offer and it wasn't the right time. A little break in the tape. Well, Taurus, I am really blown away by this reading. If it is about you and an Aries, I believe you guys are really quite the couple. I'm looking at the 4 of Cups in the past position, and I'm unable to discern whether or not it was you turning down in the past an offer that Aries had made you, or Aries turning you down in the past. But I can tell you what, whoever did the turning down regrets it deeply right now. But it's in the past, and, let's move forward, okay? A little bit about this card. Look, it's Moon in Cancer, so, of course, the Moon rules Cancer, so it's right at home when it's in Cancer, and people can be very moody and stubborn, and they do things that, they make decisions out of their moody and stubbornness that they later regret. This cup is being offered literally by the hand of God. That was the offer that either you made or Aries made to you, and it was turned down. It should not have been turned down. So anyway, let's just leave that in the past, okay? So here's what we have in the near future, which tells me your readings always make sense. I love reading Taurus because there's a theme, there's a plot, everything makes sense. In the very near future, we have the Ace of Wands, which is an offer that is accepted, a challenge that is accepted, and it's very passionate. And I can tell you right now that this other person, okay, if it isn't Aries, this other person, that you literally take their breath away. They might actually feel... Sorry, it's my sister. She lives in Vancouver. She's saying she likes her reading. She's a Cancer. Anyway, the Ace of Wands. There's that opportunity that you're gonna have the chance to. This is making me teary-eyed because I know exactly what you guys are going through. To make work. 1 second. Okay, Taurus. Sorry about that little break. So yes, in your very near future, we're going to be cleaning up that 4 of Cups error, whether it was yours or your love interest's error. You are going to be, or perhaps your love interest will be finally grabbing that phenomenally passionate, wonderful, good opportunity. It's also a bit phallic. I'm sensing that there's a lot of physical chemistry between you and your love interest. So what's interesting, though, is if this was about an Aries, we've got the Ace of Wands, which is very heavily associated with Aries. I also want you to remember this may be the time to communicate and go for it. You'll notice that there are 8 leaves that are falling from that very fertile rod. Historically, this card leads us to the only minor arcana card that has no human being or a human being's body part in it, which is the 8 of Wands, which, remember, is the card, the arrows of love, the card of communication, the timing that means now. Okay? So I just keep in my head, I'm hearing you take my breath away. So that's either you, I think that's your love interest, though. Okay. Also the timing element for the Ace of Wands, I believe it's now. It's either now or hours or a few days. So I don't know if that means anything to you. Now look, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on astrologically before we go up through the last row of your reading. Taurus, right now, Uranus is in your sign, okay? It has been for some time, but up until January the 10th, it's been sort of ill aspected. It's been retrograde, but on the 10th, it went direct, which is really good. All right, so it means that now is the time you can press the release button on letting your emotions out. For the next little while, people are going to be a little bit shocked with you because your personality may change. You may actually decide to give up some of your old habits that, may have worked well for you, but you're going to change it up. And people around you are going to be a little bit maybe confused, but who cares? Because it's all good. It's going to do very well for you. Uranus in Taurus is going to bring you a lot of good changes and a lot of luck. A little break in the tape. Okay, and before we turn over the card that shows us the energies that you're bringing in, it's always good to look at where your ruling planet is. So Taurus, your ruling planet is Venus, believe it or not. And I say that because Taurians are very stable. You guys are the most stable sign of the entire zodiac. And people always say, oh, they're so sensible and they take so long to make decisions because they think everything out. So sometimes you can come across to others as not being very romantic, but you are, because your ruling planet is Venus. And Venus right now is in Pisces. So you are going to, don't be surprised if you feel a need to be closer to your love interest. You may be thinking, am I nuts? No, you're not nuts. It's just the planetary constellation right now. Anyway, energy that you're bringing in. This is incredible. This is why I love reading for Taurus, because you guys always make sense. You make perfect sense. So we have another card of Taurus. We have the Seven of Pentacles, which is Saturn in Taurus. And you're waiting. Okay? So here's a farmer who has done a lot of work, already put a lot of work in. This has already come out in your reading. It's incredible reading. And the farmer's waiting for the crops to grow, okay? The reason why they call it, the reason why, obviously, this is the card of waiting for the crops to grow, and that this card is supposed to describe it's Saturn in Taurus. I really hope I'm right about that. I think I am. Yeah. Okay, so Saturn is the planet of, restrictions and limitations and all that. And Taurus, you guys steadily grow your finances. You're all about growth but steady growth, okay? And properly made decisions. So what does restriction have to do with this? Well, this farmer, the only thing he's restricted by is the amount of time that it takes for a crop to grow. And it does take time, So time is not entirely meaningless. But there is a huge payoff coming. there's also a sense in this card of the young man is like, was this too much work? Should I ditch the project? Or should I just wait and keep tending to this? Wait and keep tending to it. Okay. Next card. What is this card? This card will be the outside influences. A little break in the tape. Okay, Taurus, I'm really excited to see what the outside influences are. So these are things that pretty much will just happen anyway, okay? All right, and what will heavily impact the situation. All right. Like. Oh, I think this is something you're going to do. Hi, Taurus. The Knight of Pentacles there with his offering that he has thought through so thoroughly. However, you may not have decided what to do with your pentacle. Okay, I'm going to try to think of the quote from Waite on this card. He exhibits his symbol, but does not look therein. I think it's something like that. The point is, he's got it. He's pausing to think before he decides to whom he is going to offer it. Sorry about the English there. I hope Mother never watches this video. I'm sure that she will be sending me emails on my grammar. Yes, well, look, the offer is going to be made. The person that you're going to offer this to may have to wait. But boy, is it ever once you, Taurus, commit to something, what is this? I always say, I have a male friend, a male colleague who's a Taurus, and I'm always teasing him because I say you are always wed to your plans, which he is. Once he's made up his mind, there's no changing it. So the person who gets this pentacle is going to be very lucky because you guys are very committed. You're the most stable, signs that there are. Very, very, very comforting, loyal, very stable. Yeah. So what's happening is you are going to make that offer, but now I'm seeing right now that there's a little bit of hesitation, and of course, why wouldn't there be? It's something very major. So the other person may have to wait a little bit. Hang on, I just got to grab that little sheet that I wrote it down on today's astrology. Okay, so what's going on today? Uranus is in your sign. This is important. The person that you offer this to may shock other people, okay? You don't care right now. Little break in the tape. Okay, Taurus, just before we get to your hopes and fears, so what's interesting is, as I mentioned to you, Uranus has been, just look at this, this is, I don't know how this is going to look on my camera, but here's, I just drew this little line for Taurus, and you can see Uranus is in your constellation, and I wrote down upset personal relationships. In other words, what you do, because it's so unlike Taurus, in the next little while, may shock your friends, and you also may be making personal changes to your personality. You're going to have some luck, some unexpected luck coming your way as well. But look, so right now, your ruling planet, which is Venus, is in the constellation of Pisces. Venus and Neptune are in Pisces right now. So Venus is, very at home in Pisces. Pisces is romantic. So look, when Venus is in Pisces, what the impact that it has on Taurus is that you will actually want to communicate your real feelings. And this is generally not what you do. Okay. And you want to be closer to that person that you're really interested in. All right, so we're going to look at your hopes and fears. Wow. See, Taurus, you're so consistent. and you make so much sense, and so do your readings. Didn't I say that I thought you were after an Aries? Look at what just came up in your hopes and fears. Aries. Okay, so you could be a female Taurus or you could be a male Taurus. I think this reading is specifically related to a female or male Taurus who is pursuing an Aries. Okay, so as your hopes and fears. Okay, so you don't need any help from anyone to make this happen. Okay, you don't want it either. Also, when you make the offer, the only correct response from Aries should be yes. Okay. Guys, I'm dying to see the outcome here. All right. I'm feeling something shocking. Because, don't forget, Uranus is in your first house. Okay? Yes, this is very shocking. Okay, we're going to have to clarify, guys. We've got the devil. What I can say is sex is going to be amazing. Okay, just pause the tape. Okay, Taurus. So, we are going to try and clarify the devil as the outcome here. Clearly, their looks are overwhelming. It's probably someone very attractive. Let's see what tarot has to say about this. It's probably necessary for you to look further, look beyond the five senses. This person could be very, very, very insightful and spiritual and intelligent, but you wouldn't know because you're so distracted by the sensual part. So we need tarot to tell us what to do. What is the outcome here? What does the devil mean as the outcome in this beautiful love reading? I'm seeing it right now as sort of a soulmate thing. Okay, come on. Let us know. We want a real clear answer on this, please. Don't keep us in a state of suspense. We clarify the devil as the outcome here. Okay, so one really didn't I tell you? Sometimes tarot does this. You know, they play a little game with you and see if you'll work for it. This is the correct spiritual partner for you. The cape of Archangel Raphael there is the color of spirituality. This may be for a female Taurus because the female is looking up to the angel asking Archangel Raphael, is this the right one? The male is just looking at her. As in the devil card, he's very distracted by her attractiveness. Taurus, I am just, as always, honored to do your reading. And I always learn a lot about tarot. But what I love the most about your readings is they have a plot. It's like reading a really gripping novel. It makes sense, and you can see what's been going on. There's no wishy-washy to it. It just is very, very easy to understand and fascinating. Wow. Okay, Taurus, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Thank you.